Hello, baby.
Hello.
I didn't want to give a nice. I didn't want to do the whole screech, because I always like starting off somber.
Yeah.
This is just a brief
And you build
a
up
vision
that.
into my creative process. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm Ben, by the way. I'm hosting this episode, as we do every second episode. James is with me.
I am.
As always.
I am. Thank you for introducing me.
Yeah, you're
Not
welcome.
forgetting.
Yeah, I never
Cheers.
forget. Oh, that's actually an inside joke that these people won't know. We recorded a podcast.
Well, we'll use that for something, will we?
Yeah, just
Well,
for lack of a better
okay,
word,
yeah.
I wasn't introduced,
Okay.
and we were in a group
When I was hosting.
bigger than NSYNC.
Yeah.
The amount of guys that were sitting there. Anyways, this is Drinkin Thinkin, episode 5,
5.
maybe 6, technically.
Depending on whether it be.
Our 6th entry in the series, but our 5th episode, canonically,
Yes.
like Star Wars and shit like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how are you?
Me, I'm good, man.
Yeah?
I've been chilling lately, enjoying getting back into the swing of college and stuff. We're getting cameras soon. That's exciting.
Oh, well, actually, that might be a nice little topic later on that we'll
that
get
might
into.
be. Might be.
Yeah.
We'll leave it later then.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll give a little tease. Just the wheels of Drinkin Thinkin and Danger Zone Productions is well and truly in motion.
Yeah, I like that.
As always, I like to give the date, and this might confuse you, but it's January 19th on a Thursday. So, if, one of us die in the next week, it might seem strange that an episode comes up,
Yeah.
but here it is. So, has anything happened since we last spoke?
Well, the last time we spoke was half an hour ago.
But our last episode.
Technically, last one was.
Oh, we actually need to address something regarding a certain comedian and
no.
an elevator.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, my aunt is a liar. Okay. Now I told a story. It was even referenced in the title of the video. I just told a story about a certain comedian. I'm not gonna name names. The story wasn't true. It's actually an internet rumor. But my aunt told me the story as if it happened to her friend. I don't know who down that chain made it up. But someone did, and now I look like an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing is, like when you told me last week, or whenever we last recorded that, I believed you.
Yeah.
And
Because it's a funny story.
'cause it's a funny story.
I want it to be true.
but I never went and told somebody.
Yeah, I didn't go and tell 85 fucking people online.
And yeah, another point. We'll move quickly on. You got off the hook there by
Really?
mentioning the 85 people.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We're climbing dramatically in the
That was a
YouTubes.
double. Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
People, like, what's the average
I
lifespan?
think people actually listen to us.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at that.
Why?
We usually just talk shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure, we even shit on this week about our podcasting capacity capabilities. Apparently, this isn't a podcast.
Oh, don't go. I don't know. Do you want to mention that? Something like, oh, listen.
No, it's grand. I mean,
That's
we love
nice.
everyone. One love in that. So we'll just get right into it. We want to. Obviously, we're Danger Zone Productions is a movie company essentially, but we want to maybe not make the podcast a movie podcast.
It's not a movie podcast. It was supposed to be a general topic, general discussion podcast.
But
But we are the
all we
we
do
are the
is
movie guys.
watch a
and,
movie and TV
yeah, that is
and
our
drink.
life. So that tends to be what we discuss.
Yeah, I don't think this episode's going to be as long as the episode 4,
No,
hour and 40 minutes. But
no, it won't be. Jesus,
regardless, we'll jump into our entertainment. What we call it? Well, we should actually name it. Like, I don't know, and do a little jingle. Like, this week in
We should do. I was actually
Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
thinking about that earlier. I was like, instead get around the whole. The podcast is a wide thing. We have the focus and entertainment section. I don't have a name at the moment.
We'll have one for next week.
We'll have one for next week.
So this is what I like. It's we're open. We're transparent. They're seeing us during
As
the
we
process.
are, we're human beings.
Yeah.
We have flaws.
We shall
Sometimes
jump.
we believe things. It happens.
Yeah. So we'll jump into it anyway. What have we seen since we last spoke?
Movie wise.
Movie wise.
Well,
yes.
we're going into movie talk now.
We talked about Assassin's Creed last time, didn't we? Because I can't remember the timeline here.
Don't know. I don't think so. I hope not.
Yeah, I don't want
It was
to.
an hour 40. I only skimmed it. The last episode.
Well, we talked about zombies was a major part.
I don't think we talked about that. We'll talk about it for a minute.
Do you want to just say it? Do it now?
Well,
really quick.
Yeah, super
minute review.
right, yeah. Sounds great.
Sounds good. Soulless. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Great. A great
soulless
cast.
was the word I used coming out of it. I don't think I've ever used that word for a movie before.
Yeah.
But that was the word that captured me.
A great cast just wasted.
Yeah, just amazing talent in front and behind the camera, and I don't know what happened. It makes me think there's never going to be a good one, is there? No. So Lara Croft, I mean, here's to you. Maybe
Do you know what? Have you heard about this? I fucking love Alicia Vikander. She made a movie studio. It's old news. It was like 6 or 7 months ago, where she named it Vicarious, but it's spelled VIK.
Ah,
and
nice.
I was on the bus and I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
I just started giggling to
That's
myself.
cool, yeah.
I don't know why. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
but it's just like, you go, girl.
I like it.
So, what? Are we sticking to movies or will we go?
Well,
We've seen.
we have one movie. Well, we have another movie we saw yesterday.
Hmm.
We can talk about that maybe later. We have 2 TV shows.
Will we get into the
And we have a
live performance?
A live performance, which we've never actually talked about on the show before.
Yeah, surprisingly. Shall we just jump into that?
We'll just jump into that.
Okay.
It's our main topic, I guess.
Yeah.
Of the day.
So what was it? Tuesday? What day was it?
Was it only last week?
Yeah.
It was the day before. Tuesday. Last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday we saw the Tenderloins and Practical Jokers live.
It was live. Santiago sent us
Yeah.
tour. Yeah.
So, obviously, you heard last week James's phone ringing. That was a joke from Impractical Jokers. So we're big fans of the show.
Yeah.
And James,
Well, I saw it twice.
you did, yeah.
So I went over to see it in the O2 in London a few days before. Basically what happened when I was booking. That's gas, isn't that what phone's ringing? I'm sorry.
Speak
It's
of
on
the
mute.
devil.
It's on
and he
mute.
shall appear.
It's on mute. Don't worry. Right.
So you're in England.
5 seconds earlier. That was
Yeah.
a perfect time, doesn't it? Yeah, when I was buying the tickets, they announced an O2 show in London.
Yep.
And I said, right, I'll get tickets to that. And then they announced a few weeks later, we'll come to Ireland. And I was like, thought I muted it. Right, they had to come to Ireland. I'll get tickets to that too, so I wound up seeing it twice.
And not only that, you essentially bought 3 tickets because you bought a pair of tickets.
Well, do we want to say that now? Or
Yes,
we talk about the show first, and then our experiences personally, individually.
Yeah, okay. We'll just skip your English experience, and we'll just talk about the show in general.
We'll talk about just the content of the show first.
All right.
And then we'll go into our personal discussions.
And we saw it with the boys over at Rumham.
Rumham, shout out to Rumham, yeah.
Yeah, the dead now, the now defunct Rumham.
Band.
Poor guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we know who's the king of
I know,
podcasting.
right there, you know.
Drinkin Thinkin, Shop of Vale. But we saw it with those guys, Kevin and Ronan.
We did.
Um,
Well, you saw it with them.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later on. Anyways, it takes we take our seats. I just noticed like the sheer amount of people. It was insane how many people they packed in there.
Not that big.
I know London was bigger.
Just twice, 2, 3.
But,
something else.
The show starts and they have Owen Benjamin, who's I guess is a musician, comedian.
Yep, comedian.
He comes out and he opens. He plays for what, 20, 30 minutes?
25 minutes.
25 minutes. And what do you think of him?
See, I suppose I kind of have to talk about my personal experience. In London, he was better. Now, I think he's a funny guy. But I just don't know what... I felt like in Dublin, he was just kind of rushing through the stuff. There was parts of the jokes that he I think, forgot to put in.
Yeah.
That kind of made them. I remember seeing it in London coming out going, your man, Owen Benjamin, was better at the stand-up stuff than the Tenderloins were.
Wow.
Was what I thought. So yeah, I think he's really funny. I just there's something off in Dublin.
I've seen him do things before.
He wasn't bad. He's fine.
He wasn't bad at all, and I like him. He seems like a nice guy. He comes out. We can spoil the show. The show's
show's
over now.
done, I think. Yeah.
He comes out, and the first thing he does, it was such like a Seinfeld thing where he goes, "So you guys like dogs? Let's talk about dogs, huh?"
Yeah.
And me, Kevin, and Ronan were just like, "Oh, woof." Oh, that was good. Woof.
Well, nice.
I'm funnier than this guy.
Yeah.
When he started actually getting into it and playing the songs and telling more jokes, he started to take a shine to him. But then he was finished by the time we could really actually like him. So it starts off on a, okay, we'll see how this goes. We just want to see the Impractical Jokers. Then it takes 30 minutes for the Impractical Jokers to come out. Now they show clips and stuff which were very funny. Like
clips are the best part. Is why you go to see them for, effectively.
Well, I mean, like before the show, they even came out.
Oh yeah, they showed a preview of Drunk History, the new season,
with all the lads.
And it's them. Yeah, it's well, Joe doesn't drink.
Yeah.
So it was Sal. It was Murr on his own and Sal and Q.
I love it.
It's look hilarious.
I love it because actually we won't spoil it because that starts next week.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Then they come out, the Impractical Jokers,
Yeah.
and all of that sort of not dampered spirit, but like all of that sort of like, oof, that wasn't the best opening act.
No, I don't know about.
But we were just feeling, we were just like, okay, let's see. The second they walk out, we were just like, oh,
yeah,
we're like, yeah,
yeah.
And they were good.
They know how to get a crowd going. I'll give them that.
Everyone there was like there for them, because they have such a following where it's, they're your friends essentially.
Yeah.
What do you think of that show?
I think it's a really well put together show. It's very funny. It shines best when it strays away from routine.
Yes.
When it goes into improv, those moments that you couldn't get anywhere else. Like having seen it twice, I know what the
actual
script is. Script is. And it was it's a good script. It's funny,
yeah.
There's still really funny bits in it, and it works well with what they're showing on the screen as well. But yeah, it's just improv is their strong suit. They've tried to do a sketch comedy TV show. It didn't work. Joker's Wild, it bombed.
Yeah.
So improv is what they're best at. And I think the show kind of accentuates that a lot.
Yeah. A lot of those, they have, I guess they have 3 podcasts. One of them's dead. They have the 10 Line podcast, What Say You, and Tell 'em Steve Dave. So I heard like half them stories before.
Yeah.
But that's actually one thing I noticed. They had it like different sort of.
I haven't heard them once.
Small.
Did they change small differences?
Small, like for example, the story where Sal has to break into his neighbour's house with his cop neighbour with a gun drawn, and he's wearing Heineken pajama bottoms. In the real story, it's Corona. So it's just one of those like an idiosyncrasy where I was like, whoa, it's a bit strange.
Maybe they change it for regions or something like that.
That's true, because they did mention Heineken early on that night.
I don't remember Heineken being mentioned in the London.
They probably just saw the Heineken building when they were trying.
Yeah.
These lads like Heineken.
There you
go. So the show ends. It was a good show. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about the show?
I think it's rush through that. You did.
Well, I don't want to go beat for beat.
Well, I mean, just the clips. Were just hilarious. One bit that they talked about wanting to do for years, finally got to do. Get in the van, and it was absolutely gold. Like absolutely hilarious. The fact that he actually got someone in the van as well is even better.
He just.
But I think it's the scene at the end when Murray eats dog shit was great because like this is only for us. We're the only people that are going to get to see that.
Yeah.
And that's something that you like. I don't know how.
That
at the time you didn't just throw that into the show like.
Yeah. For everyone who's listening who wasn't there,
Murray eats dog shit.
He literally eats dog shit at the end of the show on a video.
In the video, not on the show.
Yeah, but at the end of the show, it's like their final.
Yeah, their final video.
I've never seen just a crowd reaction like that.
Shudder and
I started off with a laugh and like it was one of those like I was like D. I was itching, my eyes were watering. So disgusting. Yeah. So the show ends. Are we done with the show now?
Yeah. Well, the show ends. They love. You can tell they love being up there.
Yes, they're natural.
Q bringing out t-shirt cannons.
Yeah.
And shit, confetti blowing everywhere. They have like a song and dance at the end of it. Like it's cool. It's a good show. It's worth seeing. Definitely.
And they'll come back next October, so.
They are up and we go to that as well.
Maybe we get free tickets for plugging them.
Maybe. Well, this will be tweeted and hashtagged and the fuck out of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Sal. I'm coming for you. I'm gonna rape your bloody tweet messages. Yeah. It's a good show. So our experiences differed quite. So I was having seen it twice. I saw it in London. My seats were comparable to yours. You were quite far back.
Dead center, but like 3 rows from back.
I was. I think you're how far you were away. I think that's how far I was at. Maybe a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But I was to the side, so I was kind of like turned sideways somewhat. But like you said, after we come out, you said, I said, did you watch them, or did you look at the screens? And I went back and forth. I did that too. So basically, the night before the Dublin show, I saw a woman on Twitter, Chrissy, shout out.
Did you get her to listen?
I'm going to. I'll tell her we mention her. Nice girl.
Scott.
She is Scottish. Yeah, that's true. Huge fan. Like little bit too much of a fan, maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like they bloody know her. They know her. Like, you know, she was talking like they're friends.
Yeah.
That was cool. And the way, like I saw, I was about to spot that. I'll mention this later. So yeah, a woman says, I have meet and greet tickets. I don't want it to go to waste. Does anybody want it? So I saw that. I was like, yeah. So I said, how much do you want for it? And she goes, well, I paid $250, you know, so what can you give me? Now, I didn't really have much money. I didn't actually have anything I would have agreed to pay. I didn't really have. I had to ask my parents in the morning for it.
Mind you, we'll say these tickets sell originally for...
Well, I'll come to that in a
okay,
minute.
it's all part of the story.
I have
Structure.
a whole thing around it. So I said, yeah, I'll get them. So I negotiated down to 120, but I'd put money off my parents in the morning. Went to the show, and the ticket for the meet and greet is 280. So I having paid I'll say the prices then. 70 quid for a base ticket. That was when you got.
But I only paid 20.
You only paid 20. You gave me 20. I took 20 because I'm a nice guy. Then there's a merch pack, 150, and the meet and greet, which is 280. So I got it effectively I paid 170 for a meet and greet ticket, which is still saving 110 quid.
Yeah.
And I was considering getting that initially anyway. So the show ends. Our seats were in the second row, like dead center, second row. You know, Q looked at me, and I gave him a little ant salute, and he gave it back to me and shit, and gave me the Illuminati sign. I was pretty chuffed. But yeah, it was amazing. Like I would say that those seats alone are worth 120.
Yeah. Because
your experience there, like, because I didn't have to look at the screen at all. I was just looking at them, and I was like, having seen it in London, I was kind of like, I saw them. And I'm like, I know it was them. I know by looking at the screen and looking at them that it's them, but I'm so far away I wouldn't know. Like, I actually seen them physically that close, like, it really adds to it. And I'd say, like, for extra... the minimum you can pay to get seats like that is 150.
Right.
And I'd be close to saying that's worth it. But, that aside, saw the show, loved it. It was way better than the O2 performance, I think. I don't know, I think it was the way the crowd interacted and off-the-cuff jokes and everything worked really well. So afterwards, we have wristbands. And we we were escorted from our seat to a queued up, went upstairs, and we went to the, like, around the corner, way outside the green room.
Right.
Got brought into a room, and we're told it was 20 people, 15, 20 people at a time. And they said, you have 7 minutes with the jokers. You know, they're not sitting at a table, like, they're just going to kind of mingle, mingle around the room. Because that's how they like to do it, more kind of like more casual. So like, okay, cool. He says, get whatever you want signed, you know. Don't take selfies, but everyone took selfies. You know, take selfies. No.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. So I went to the room, chat with them, had my little back and forths with them. It was pretty great. Got to talk to Merck for quite a bit. So that was cool. Didn't get to talk to Q as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah.
But Sal gave me a hug, and I was surprised because he opened his arms for a hug, and he's like, but I go, oh my god, and he's just like, come here. Those are nice pants. And I was like, yes. So like it was a cool experience. They're bang on guys. Like
Yeah,
you can tell that they enjoy meeting fans and all. So yeah, I had a really good time. But the topic basically I wanted to bring up today. €280. So steep.
Yeah, a
Steep,
life-changing amount of money for me.
Yeah. And I remember initially seeing that price, I said, I don't know if that's worth it. That's a shocking amount of money. But then I started to think. I thought, well, I'm going to do this mathematically to see if I'm a hypocrite. Okay? Now, you know, as I mentioned several times on the show, I go around to play. I collect autographs.
Yeah.
I like going to Comic-Cons and those type of things, and you pay money, but you get to meet people, get autographs. So I worked out if each of these guys were singularly or in a group at a Comic-Con, how much, let's say MCM London, how much it would have cost.
Right.
And we'll work on it. Now, we'll also factor in the fact that there's a show involved. So, 280 for your base tickets, 70 quid for the show. Then next up is your merch pack. Merch pack includes an autograph poster.
Yeah.
From all four of them. A pack of cards and a lanyard. So, I said initially the second row seats were worth 120 alone, didn't I?
Yeah.
So by that logic, an autograph poster. Now, the fact that you get personalized is important. An autograph poster on its own, I don't think is worth much unless you met them to get an autograph.
Yeah.
So the merch pack was 150, and then jumped from 280. So they have effectively priced themselves, meeting them as being worth 130 euro.
Just meeting.
Just meeting them, not including the show.
Yeah.
Not including 130 euros the jump. From that to that. So now you get a professional photo done. You get whatever you want autographed, and you can take selfies. So when I went to MCM London, I met Troy Baker. Troy Baker for a photo and an autograph was £55, which I've rounded up to €70. Right? For a professional photo and an autograph. Emily Rose was £25, so I say €30. Entry was £25, so I'll say €30. And I don't know if I should count this on my flight.
No.
Like on my flight? No. It's a big chunk, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a flight. It's not me.
But it's what I would have paid. I suppose it's like counting your Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'll leave the flight out. So, Troy Baker, 100. So €70 plus 30 is 100. Plus entry is €130.
Yeah.
Which happens to be the difference between the merch pack and the Impractical Jokers meet and greet. Now, considering that's two people, and only one of them I got a professional photo with.
Yeah.
Is it worth, by that logic, getting a meet and greet?
By that logic, yes.
Yeah, because you get an autograph poster.
Yeah.
Which you can get personalised.
Yeah.
You get a professional photo with all four of them. You get to talk to them for a couple of minutes. And you get a lanyard, which is pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
You've
always said.
Yeah, don't let me be misunderstood. I wouldn't pay a dime to meet anyone. I don't even like meeting someone if it's free, like, because it's just an inconvenience for me. Because I always have that maybe egotistic sort of mindset that they're not better than me. You know, I'm not gonna go out my way to meet these jabronis. So that's the way I look at it. I'd never pay money, even if it was Christian Slayer. Like,
yeah. But if you looked at it, so let's say, breaking down, the photo of Troy Baker was £30. So let's say €35.
yeah,
€35. Times that by four people in the photo.
yeah.
That's maths. That's 150 or so. No, 140.
150.
150. 4 times 35. 150. Okay, 150.
No, 140.
140. Good, thank you. We look at it like idiots. 140. Yeah, for just a photo.
Yeah.
Technically is worth. Plus 4 autographs, that's 100, 240. And plus a show.
that make you feel better?
Kind of. I think it's just all of it bunched in together. Looks wrong. But I think it is, and I remember coming out of it, I said that's not wasn't be worth them 280 quid for the little time. But when you put it out like that, I think it does work out quite like it is a good deal, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Especially when you say that the show alone is worth 120.
Is it?
For second rows. For
Right.
second row seats.
Okay.
For those seats. It's amazing seats.
Shall we move on?
Yeah, so you're saying no, it's not worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't pay for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
But I say it is. So yeah, I guess when you put everything together, it just looks wrong, but
So,
maths, can't lie.
well, we have 2 TV shows to speed fire through.
Are we speed firing?
Yeah, well, we've been on
Fire.
for about 30 minutes now.
Are we?
You just announce what shows we'll be talking about.
But we never said this is the show, yeah?
What?
The show. The bloody Santiago Santos.
Yeah, we did.
Was it good?
Oh, yeah.
How much would you have paid for it?
I don't know.
Was it better than Darren Brown?
Darren Brown. Yeah, we had good seats for Darren Brown though,
We did. Yeah. That's
and it's like it's magic, sorcery.
nice. So that's a thumbs up.
A thumbs up.
That's 2 thumbs up from the Drinkin Thinkin crew.
Yeah.
You're welcome, lads. Right.
Now
we can move on.
Like they can go see it again.
You gotta wrap up a topic before you move on to the next one.
So we saw television. Always Sunny started up.
We did. Always Sunny. Yeah, this season our favorite show.
2 episodes deep. First episode, the guy turns black.
Yes.
It was a musical.
It was.
We were right. We were right with our fucking. Well, the guesses. We said it was a musical
was announced,
inspired
wasn't
by The Wiz.
We didn't guess that.
But we said it.
Thought it was going to be a musical inspired by The Wiz.
Yeah.
When?
Last episode.
What?
Last episode.
What do you mean?
Last episode of this podcast,
Yeah.
which came out which we recorded before the first episode came out.
Mm-hmm.
We said it was going to be a musical inspired by The Wiz.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, that's shocking, isn't it?
I know, yeah. We're
That's
better than
incredible.
Darren Brown.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, but it was a great episode. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very funny.
Just the lads back at it again.
It's nice having when Always Sunny is always best when it has like an actual the social commentary on it, and that one did. It was kind of about like the Black Lives Matter movement and that kind of stuff. But putting that kind of dark comedic twist on it, it was it's just nice having it back. I guess that might be part of the reason I enjoyed it so much, maybe. But
First episode,
strong episode.
strong episode. But we're 3 deep now that I think about it.
No, I haven't
4.
I haven't seen 3.
No, you have seen 3.
What?
Yeah, it's the water park one.
Is that not 2?
No, 2 was the. Oh no, it was. You're right. Yeah. The third one came out last night.
Haven't seen it.
It was a strong start, but when I saw the second episode, I realized that maybe it wasn't as strong as an episode.
Yeah.
The second episode, the gang. What was it called? The gang go to a water
I
park.
think that's it. Yeah.
Another short episode. It was 17 minutes long.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it
That's
was like
cheeky, gang.
everyone was
True,
on top
yeah.
form. Like
Yeah, that's a good
they were throwing out AIDS jokes. They were
Yeah.
throwing out fucking I don't know disability joke. Well, that's AIDS again. But everyone had their own little adventure, which I like.
Yeah.
They were all off, and it was the best pairs as well.
Yeah. Mac
That's-
and Dee work well
Yeah,
together.
and
Dennis,
well, actually, I guess Mac and Dennis is probably best.
Yeah.
But
Charlie and Frank.
that was another great episode.
Anything else to say other than they're great?
Just keep up. It's good to be back.
It is good. It is good to be back. It's good to have gang back.
The gang back together
Gang back
again.
together. Freight train. Woo woo.
Do you have anything else to say about Always Sunny?
What would you It would 12 seasons in.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to keep a show like that fresh.
Mm.
What would the show have to do to really surprise you? I guess. At this point?
Surprise me. Well, even that, like these last 2 episodes, the second episode was sort of you could interchangeable with any from any of these seasons. The first episode was pretty original, you know.
Yeah, swapping. Well, it's a body swap thing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know.
Well, we see that now that they're starting to delve into more.
Absurd.
Yeah, because like you're saying, they have to keep us hooked.
if you could get like a sequel to an episode or like a continuation kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Probably
part 2 thing. What would it be?
Probably the Lethal Weapon episodes.
Another Lethal Weapon. Yeah. I'd be tempted to say like Frank Day or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's one that's like an easy get.
Yeah.
They could do that every season. Yeah.
That's
We also isn't there episodes this season that are written by fans?
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they took on
they took on to their writing group.
Yeah,
like
fans.
a couple of fans or something like that.
So it'll be.
Were we talking about that? Not on the podcast, but a while ago.
A while.
Didn't we say something like, "Oh, we're going to write an episode and send it in"? Wasn't that a thing at one point?
Probably. It's an easy.
Like
it's an easy show to write.
That's true.
Because the characters are so well.
It writes itself basically.
Yeah. I guess. Well, I don't have anything else to say about Always Sunny. Shall we move on to BBC?
The new hit show.
The new hit
taking
show.
the world by storm.
Yeah, it seems that way. Taboo.
Taboo.
Starring Tom Hardy.
It is also written by Tom Hardy.
And
not written. Created
by Tom Hardy and his little daddy.
His little daddy.
Written by Stephen Knight. What did you think?
I'm finding it hard to find a fault with it, to be honest. I've only seen you've seen the first 2 episodes. I've only seen the first. Because it's that type of show where I went in, it was 2 minutes in, and I couldn't watch it because I said I don't want to miss a single second of it. The only thing that takes me out of it a little bit is that there's so many people from Game of Thrones. Like most of the cast is Game of Thrones people. But aside from that, it's like it's not a lot of shows hook me on the first episode quite like that did. I was so intrigued, and it seems like so much is happening already.
Yeah.
Very quickly, and it's just really exciting to have a new show. It's a miniseries, isn't it? They're not doing like a season 2.
No, they are.
Are they?
Well, I think they're talking about it.
Keeping it going.
Yeah. We're not going to spoil it, are we? Let's not.
No,
Let's not.
No.
Well, we never mentioned it. It's a gothic period drama with has like
early 1800s.
Yeah, and has like sort of a dark, I guess, horror inspired, a lot of horror inspired elements. I have one complaint, I guess, and it's something that it's not going to change because it's like a structural sort of flaw with it, where everything is so like ramped up to the point where, because everyone is so tough, and they're either so tough or they're so villainous and sort of wretched, to the point where the subtlety sort of goes out the window. Because you know, like Tom Hardy, like he walks on and he's walking like a gorilla, and he's like just fucking staring out everyone, and he's talking in like these cool one-liners, and everyone acts like this, and it sort of takes you out of it. Where if it was a little bit more subtle and sort of reserved, I think it would have done it. It would have that hardness and the toughness would have showed.
Well, I quite like how kind of colorful, I guess, everyone is in it. Everyone seems to have something going on.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't feel like any scene in it is for nothing. Do you know? It's not. I don't think it's ever wasting time.
Neither do I. But I'm gonna keep watching that.
Yeah, definitely.
That airs on Saturdays at 9.
Nice.
On BBC One.
Great show, anyway.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it strongly.
I would too. It's on its 3rd episode now, so you'll have to catch up on the last 2.
One of my favourite Tom Hardy characters, I think, now, at this point.
James Delaney.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
He's badass.
He is very cool.
Yeah.
So that's Taboo.
Taboo. Yeah. We have a bet going.
No, we do, yes.
Do you want to mention? It's not a spoiler because it might not. It probably won't.
It comes.
There's no indication why I would think this aside from.
It comes from a very strange sort of start. For some reason, James thinks that taboo means incest.
No, taboo. Incest falls under an umbrella.
Yeah.
Of taboo.
But
I have a strong sense watching the show. And there's no real, like, overt reference to it, but I get a strong sense that he's banging his sister in it. Or that was a thing that happened at some point. There are lines that can be taken that way, that can kind of support it.
But it can also
It hasn't been overtly proven.
It can also.
I don't know if there's even fan theories about it yet.
That being said, when you told me that, I was like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So he made about a tenor that he doesn't have sex with his sister.
There's basically 3 times in it where I was like, "That's it. Yeah, that's confirming."
It's
Effectively to me.
It's like all it is like a hand on a face or I never stopped loving you, you know, which you can say to your sister.
Yeah, but
especially because he's been away for so long.
Yeah.
He's basically he's in Africa for 10 years before he comes back to London.
It's just a thing. I think I'm gonna knock this out of left field.
When you told me that, I was like,
it's gonna be true.
When you told me that, I was like, get out of here.
Well, I don't know, man.
Crazy.
I mean,
no, that's the thing. When I watched the second episode, I had that in my head. Like I was thinking about incest as I'm wont to do, and like a scene comes up where they're talking to each other, and with that sort of in my head, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can see it.
Like a little
and
bit
then
too close together,
I looked up an interview with Una Chaplin, who plays the sister, and she said that her goal for the series is to make people want them to fall in love, and that's such a strange thing to say in an interview. No. Like why would you? And they're only half sisters.
Because I think
siblings.
You could weasel out of that bet on a technicality.
What's that?
If they aren't banging,
yes,
like up at the point we're in the show, but they bang later on in the show, do I still win?
I would have said yes, but now that you've brought it up, I'll say no.
No, of course I win.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Of course I win.
Nah.
Yeah. I said if
it's
they bang on the show, they bang at some point.
It's in the past.
In the past or the
it's on record now.
Shit,
it's on record.
I shouldn't have said anything. Should I?
Yeah, but
I feel like they've banged already.
Yeah,
because that's the implication I'm getting.
But that being said, they're half siblings, which I didn't know.
Do you not get that in the first episode?
No.
They mention it.
Oh yeah. So we move on from taboo and our little bet, our little gambling.
Beans, a little incest bet.
Yeah. So films. We're now like 35 minutes in. So.
Okay, cool. So this will be a short ski.
So Live by Night last night.
We did Live by Night.
Ben Affleck's 4th directorial endeavor.
4th?
Yeah, he did Gone Baby Gone. Well,
I forgot about
he directed some little things.
Yeah. No, I forgot about Gone Baby Gone. Yeah.
His third time writing. Did he write Argo, The Town, and this? He didn't write Gone Baby Gone. No. So and he's also a fantastic actor. So we're going in
high
revved up,
yeah.
Because this is a high caliber, an Academy Award winner, multiple Academy Award winner.
Yeah.
So it should be good, and it's a noir.
It is, and that's
based on
us. We're big noir guys.
Based on a bestseller.
That's true.
Yeah. And then we go in, and then 2 hours 10 minutes later we come out, and I'll just say this: I went home and just had a little nap because I was beaten by this movie. Yeah. It's not.
Did you really not like it that much?
It's not a bad movie.
I acknowledge that. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie. It just wasn't what I was expecting, and I think it should have been like a higher caliber. Like anything Ben Affleck makes should be an Oscar nominee.
Yes, he doesn't have an excuse at this point.
No, because everything else he's done has been so exceptional. Well, this didn't have a reason to not be.
I think the more and more I think about it, I really do think it's a Suicide Squad problem where its editing just dragged it down.
Yeah.
Because it's directed really well. Like the shootout and that car chase at the beginning. That's phenomenal. And I didn't really have a problem with any characters or dialogue. The only problem I had with it is scenes were in there that didn't need to be in there, and they were placed in places where it didn't. It just was jarring, like the comedy.
The comedy was odd.
I think that in a better executed movie, that comedy might have came in a more subdued way.
Yeah.
And it could have been like, oh, it's just sort of funny and like a almost dark humor way.
No, it was funny.
It was, yeah.
That's the thing. There was nothing. The comedy wasn't bad. It was good comedy. It was funny comedy. It just didn't feel like it belonged in that movie.
Because all the comedic scenes that are coming into my head happen directly after, like directly before a big like a death or
something bad, like some dark.
Yeah. It is strange. Again, it has a fantastic cast.
It does.
And and I didn't really have any problem with any of them.
Well, Sienna Miller's
I like the character,
Cork accent.
and the accent did sort of grow on me a little bit.
I think it was a good accent. It's just that accent is so kind of almost cartoony.
Yeah. Even when I hear it
already.
in Ireland, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, where's this guy from? Ellie Fannin.
Oh, funny, yeah.
I'm still not sold on her, even though I love the Neon Demon.
You love the Neon Demon, really?
Yeah, it's a great.
Oh.
We've talked about. Oh, we haven't. We have a
No,
podcast.
you
where
said
we
you
discuss
said
it.
you said that you liked it, and then you have to watch it again.
So
I
she.
wouldn't use love. This is the worst movie, I think.
Nah. Well, maybe.
Straight off topic.
Regardless or irregardless,
Irregardless.
she needs to win me over.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't give a shit what you think.
Bitch, she better.
She's there starring in bloody reffing films.
I made her. I can finish
Why
her.
does she give a fuck what you think? She doesn't. Doesn't give a shit. Ella, if you care, comment down below. Let us know.
And you're never getting on this podcast.
I'm gonna tweet this to her.
You slapper.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
But now I have a grudge against you.
Right.
Yeah. What else did we have? That strange thing about Scott Eastwood.
In Live by Night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd. Will we clarify that?
He was cast as a major character, and he's not in the movie.
He's not in the movie at all. You think there'd have been like a... It would have been weird though if there was like a photo of him or something, and I noticed it was Scott Eastwood, and I'd be like...
Yeah, it would have been very strange.
That would maybe distracted me a bit.
So what would you say to someone who wants to see something this weekend?
What else is out?
Split, La La Land.
Oh, Split. Looks quite good. La La Land's good. I think to the average moviegoer, they're not going to see anything wrong with this. I know this is something my dad's going to love.
Yes.
It's something I'll sit down and watch with my dad, I'm sure, at some point. Because I was talking to him yesterday. He said he loves the sound of it. He loves gangster movies. It's a thing to watch with your dads, I think, I suppose, is the point I'm trying to say. It's a fun movie. I will watch it again. You know, I enjoy it. It's not the best Ben Affleck movie by far.
It's the worst.
It's the worst one, probably. But I don't think it's a bad movie by any stretch.
Do you want to cement down in the annals of podcasts? You want to cement down a score out of 10?
I don't know, 7.5.
7.5. I'd go 7, but it's a soft 7.
Soft 7. You were coming at like 6, yes.
Yeah, it could go back to a 6.5.
Yeah, but I'm not reviewing. There's something that happens in it that if it didn't happen, I'd probably be saying 8.
That's the funny thing, because that you'll know it when you see it. It's a scene towards the end. That was a scene that drew me back in. Yeah. But we'll move on because no one else will understand that. We have a topic. I have a little question, and it'll get us into stories.
You told me before we started, and I forget.
Yeah. Basically, I'm putting a topic to the table, and I'll tell a story, so you'll have a little time to think about it. It's basically when you've accepted that this is the end of your life, and you've accepted death, or when you've had a near-death experience. I've had a few, I think, but there was one
more than I should have.
Yeah, for a 22-year-old man.
Yeah.
The one I'll tell you happened when I was a lad, 16 or so. It would have been earlier than that. It was when we were in secondary school in art. We had this printer, so it would have been before the 3rd year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try out. I'm 15.
Okay.
Yeah. And for some reason, this teacher who I don't think cared. She was at the end of her career.
Yeah, she didn't.
She was just saying,
looking at retirement, going, yeah,
just don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
I obviously wasn't listening to that part.
Yeah.
So she hands out scalpels, and,
Oh my God.
and we're cutting paper and shit. And I'm off in the corner doing my own thing, as I'm wont to do, and I'm playing with a scalpel.
Cause you're a fucking rock star.
Yeah,
You're just messing with scalpels.
Look at that. I'm showing right now. Do you see a little scar? It's a very tiny little thing.
Oh yeah.
I was showing James a little scar there on my wrist. Basically, I'm cutting, and again, someone forego teaching me how to use a knife, because I'm cutting towards me, like a samurai gonna commit harikari. So I'm cutting down the paper towards me, and I'm holding it like this, And these are sharp scalpels. They'll tear through a paper like a scissors with wrapping paper. And my hand goes straight through and keeps going straight into my wrist, like literally like how you'd cut yourself, right at the where your wrist is.
Right. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
When it happened, like in that space between you doing it and the blood coming out, did you just think, oh, like, that's it now?
I was like, oh. That's literally, I didn't think anything. All I thought was, huh. Like, the air just coming out of me, like, whoopsie daisy, dough. And anyways, it comes in and it comes out as quick as it went in. Cause I was like, fuck. And I was looking at my wrist and I was like, oh, it was just a nick. There's no blood coming out. And then I shit you not, blood came out of my arm, and like it got air, like it shot out of my hand and landed on my palm, cause I hit it like a vein or something.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. But also because, you know, I was young and I was in secondary school. I was like, I don't want anyone to know I did this. So I put my hand in my jacket and go, I'm going to the toilet. And she's like, yeah, Ben, go on. So I'm like, oh, thank you. I get to the toilet and
So you had to come back into the room and say, about 10 minutes ago, Miss Picture, I cut myself.
The fuck she ever knew this, because I didn't tell anyone.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did you go to the hospital?
No.
You just left it?
No, that's the thing. I think I might be like Wolverine because it healed itself. But like this was it was the most blood I ever lost. Like, because and when I was going to the bathroom, because it's like our art class room was in like a shed essentially off the corner of the school. Big courtyard, you know, it's like 5-minute walk to the bathroom, especially when you're bleeding out. And I'm just drenched in blood, walking along, and by the time I get to the toilet, I'm sweating and I'm pale, and like I take my hand out my jacket, just blood everywhere.
Nice.
So I go into.
I remember seeing. I think I ran into you in the hallway,
just
with like tissue just soaked red.
So I locked myself.
What happened? I cut a scalpel. I cut myself.
What do you think happened?
No.
I locked myself in a cubicle, and I made like a little tourniquet out of tissue paper, try to tie off the wound, and I just applied pressure like from Scream, and I just sat back in the toilet, and I looked at the door and I just went, this is it.
I'm gonna die.
This is how I end. And I reserved myself to that fate. I said, take me, God.
At what stage do you, if you ever get injured out on your own, at what stage you go, I need to go to the hospital?
Probably when someone has to take me.
When someone looks at you, screams, and says, "Yeah, we're going to hospital." Like if you lost an eye. If you got a stick in the eye, as people around you tend to do.
Yeah.
Would you not say, right, I better go to the hospital?
Is it still in my eye?
Yeah.
I may try and like weasel it out. So.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know how dodgy that is? Like I don't go to the hospital easily. If I'm in horrific pain.
Yeah.
And it's like I should go. Then I go to the hospital. If I sliced my wrist open, you bet your ass I'm going to tell the teacher and get an ambulance called.
Yeah. See, the thing is, when I was sitting in the toilet,
like you thought I'd rather die than call for help.
Than cause an inconvenience. It's such like an English mentality.
Yeah.
I'd rather die than cause a fuss. But I tied it up, and my only concern, and this might sound bad.
People were going to find you and think you killed yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my only
Did you have
concern.
the scalpel with you?
No.
Well, then they probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, but I tied it up, and I was just sitting there. I sat there for like 20 minutes, just going. I was accepting my fate, and I was thinking. My life didn't flash before my eyes. But I was just reserved, and then eventually, like after 10 minutes, I was like, "Huh, I'm not dying." And then, even though I lost a lot of blood, I got this, like, I'm gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, fuck this." And then I went back to class and I finished my little thing, and I don't know, probably wasn't that good.
And did you stay in college school for the rest of the day?
Oh shit! I had lessons, man.
Blood so close. What colour were your clothes?
Well, it was a uniform.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Grey.
We used to wear uniforms.
Did
blood not show up?
Well, I was. We wore black uniforms.
Was it 5th year?
No, I was in 3rd year. I was wearing grey and white. But I don't know how I weaseled out of it. I was one for wearing shirts, so I may have put a jumper over it. Yeah. But that's my little my war story.
That you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're a fucking imbecile,
Yeah.
and you need to grow up. and learn.
Well, I was young at the time.
You're here, you're
I
alive
was young
now,
at the time,
but
yeah.
you know, you slice your wrist and
You live and you learn.
you're gushing blood. You
You
should
live.
go to the hospital.
I'll never slit my wrist again.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank God. Well, you'd never say never.
That's true.
You know, how often do you mess with scalpels these days?
Yeah. So, that's the question I pose to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever accepted your mortality?
I fall
fatality?
down the stairs maybe twice a year, okay? And many a times, you swear the world goes still. Where like if I trip and it's a proper like I'm high up,
Yeah.
it feels like a freeze frame where I'm just looking around and like I'm going super slowly and I'm just like, oh, this is it. It's like when I hit the ground, just snap my neck. I'm
God.
dead. I didn't really do anything. Fuck. All I ever did was shy on about shit. And now I tried to make a career out of that. What?
What was I thinking?
This is the kind of shit that goes through my head. that tends to happen. I almost lost my foot once
Oh,
from stupidity.
stupid. Okay, go on.
It was in work. The geometry doesn't make much sense to me in my head.
Yeah.
But there was a tent outside. I wasn't working. I was a kid.
All right, trying to
Some
hang
festival
around.
thing my dad brought me in to go around and play
Yep.
kids. And there was a truck with a what are they called? You load stuff onto them and you push it and it lifts them up to put them in the back of the van.
Yeah, like one of those trolley things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Now
This
on
looks
those
a bit
things, it's like a no, it's like a
Oh, like on the actual truck thing.
yeah.
Like what?
It doesn't
Like in Toy Story?
it doesn't fall down. Kind of yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a ramp.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like
it goes
it's like a flat thing, and then it lifts up and down like an elevator. But what you should know is that between the bottom of the van and the metal, there's a gap.
Yeah.
Now, as a child on a piece of heavy machinery, of course, I can't resist,
You like
and I
that?
start messing on it, going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and up. My foot's between the
Oh, no.
the bloody thing. And you know when you're a child and you're in pain, you don't drop things, you kind of squeeze.
Yeah.
So I pressed it even more. Someone snatched it out of my hand and like pushed it down. I remember my foot going just dead black.
Yeah.
But I like almost lost all my toes
Fuck.
from just being a stupid kid.
Yeah.
So that happened. I almost killed my sister, I think, when I was younger.
How's it?
This is sort of off topic, but
Well, I have what to tell after you.
this is when I accepted I murdered someone, I suppose.
Oh, I know the story.
Anyway, I still to this day feel guilty. Now, I was maybe 4 or 5.
You was a cold-blooded killer, man.
Yeah. And what makes me feel so bad about it was that it wasn't spurred on by something like bad. My sister was trying to do a nice thing, and I took it the wrong way because I'm a kid. I'm a little shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, I made a crisp sandwich. You know, popular thing in Ireland, of course. You make crisp sandwich,
Try it sometime.
right? And I had the sandwich, and I had a butter knife, and I went to cut the sandwich in half. And my sister goes, "Oh, no, that's okay, James," and she rips it kind of, and she like rips down it.
Yeah,
kind
with her
in half.
hands.
Yeah, but I'm a kid. I don't care if someone touches my food.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but
What
it's not
frustrated me was like I wanted to cut the sandwich in half, and you just ripped it in half. I'm mad, and I threw the knife at her, and it lodged. My memory of it happened. How it happened was it actually got stuck in her head.
Wow.
Now, since that happened, I've thought about that every couple of days. I thought about that moment. I am certain it stuck out of her head. I remember it lodged in her head.
Like a Seagal movie or something.
Yeah, I'm sure not very deeply,
Yeah.
but because you have a fucking skull there.
Yeah.
I don't think it went into her skull, cracked her skull open. But I think it did get stuck. It got stuck in. Maybe it like went into her hair or something like that. But it was sticking out of her head, and she had to be rushed to the hospital. And I felt guilty ever since. And I apologized to her like last year about it. And
Did you finish that sandwich?
I don't know. I don't remember. It tasted. If I did, I'm sure it tasted a bit.
A bit like guilt.
I guess. Yeah, guilty. Guilty sandwich.
Well, your little story about your leg almost being chopped off reminded me of a stupid story about my leg almost being not amputated, but just maybe gangrene or something. And again, it was when I was a kid.
Of ignorance of asking for help.
Exactly
the
exactly
same
that.
thing.
So I was
'Cause
in.
you never learn, but
Yeah, my uncle.
no.
My uncle has a. He doesn't anymore. He lives in Wexford now. Actually, around the corner from where you live.
Yeah.
Where your house in Wexford is. Yeah. But he had this. He lived in Tal before then, and he had this really big garden, like really big, and he used to have like these huge, like barbecues, with, like 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah.
And he'd have this big bouncing castle, and there's a lot of kids in our family, so
Yeah.
we'd all be playing around, and we were just jumping around. My group of kids, I was like the older one of all my little cousins. Like the bigger lads would have been off doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. I'm the
King of the
I'm the
kids,
king of these fucking kings, like Lord of the Flies or something.
Yeah.
And I jump out of the trampoline, the bouncing castle, and this is after a really long day of playing. And I run around the back of the bouncing castle, and we're like right at the back of the garden. And I step straight on a plank of wood with a nail sticking out of it.
Oh,
I've
heard
like,
this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it went into my
yeah.
foot, and I was like, ah! I jump up, and it's in my foot, and I take it out. I was probably 7 or so,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay. I limp over, and put a sock on, and put my shoes on.
Not thinking,
Again.
I'm gonna go tell mom.
Yeah, again
No.
so that no one thinks there's anything wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then I go over to my mother, and I just sort of sit with her for the rest of the night. And she probably didn't expect anything suspect anything because it was late at night. And then we go home, and I'm like, oh. I go to bed, and the next morning I decide, I'll clean up after it, and I look at my foot, and there's the cut's there, the cut's black, and all around the black cut is a big purple circle, and that was on my foot for like 2 weeks until the cut healed, and that purple, which I initially thought was a bruise, started turning blue and then green.
It is, isn't that when you bleed under your skin?
Maybe.
I think that's probably what.
But I thought.
That said, if you get a fucking nail in your foot, like a foreign nail,
A rusty nail.
Sterilized nail, you should.
I remember a new part of the story.
Yeah.
The reason I did that was because earlier, just forgo any medical attention, except for my own. The reason I did that was because earlier on I was talking to my little cousin Luke, and he told me about he sat on a rusty nail before, and he had to get a tetanus shot, and the guy.
And he didn't want a bloody.
No,
shot.
no. The guy, because he sat on it, the guy had to pull his trouser and give him a needle in the ass, and I assumed that when
you get a needle in the ass for all tetanus shots. Yeah.
And I was just like,
don't you?
I don't know. Well, even if you do, I was just
like.
like, there's no way a doctor's looking at my ass. Even as a 7-year-old.
Oh my
Shit's
God.
gay, man.
Oh, Jesus. Were you ever a kid? Were you ever... have you just had one mentality your entire life? Did you ever,
Funny enough.
You step on a nail, Mommy, I want help, please.
I guess not.
Give
I
me a
guess
plaster and a kiss or something. No, nothing?
My
My
mentality still hasn't changed, because if I was stepping a rusty on there, I wouldn't go to a hospital. I don't want a doctor to look at my ass.
I remember asking you this before. Like, if you step on a needle.
Like a HIV needle.
Well, it could be. You would get that checked.
I've thought about this before. I was like,
You would fucking get that checked. Not a chance you wouldn't. Of course you would. Or would you look at it and go, well, it didn't go in very deep, did it?
no, because I don't know if I would. Because then I'd be embarrassed, because my parents think I'm gay as it is. So I don't want to go home because I might have HIV.
Yeah.
Can you get me checked?
Well, what happened? I saw a needle on the beach. Yeah.
Is that what you're calling it these days? Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, no one wants to get HIV.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. I was watching. Oh, we're 20 seconds off from being an hour.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
I was watching Trainspotting last night to try and catch up for Trainspotting 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get HIV.
Did you not want to
looks pretty bad.
watch in cinemas?
No, because I was watching it and it's such like a dirty movie.
I suppose, yeah.
I don't really want to watch that with a crowd. That's what I'm worried about, the second one being
Do you remember
dirty.
that we saw the ad for it yesterday? It said it was rated G.
Yeah.
For everybody, like.
That's little
Because I saw that. Whenever I see a G symbol on a trailer, I'm like, oh, here we go. Now it's fucking Sing or something like that. And it was fucking it was the music starts and I was like,
this is not music.
I need to see Ewan McGregor, and I was like, what? I was like, is this his own thing? It's like, no, it's
Trainspotting 2.
So yeah, what happened?
Don't bring your kids to see Trainspotting 2.
Definitely don't. It's a dirty movie, I'm sure.
So, an hour in. Do you have anything else that you'd like to touch on?
Guys, go to the hospital when shit happens to you. When if you slice your wrist open with a scalpel,
Yeah.
or if you step on a fucking rusty
Listen.
needle, don't be a Ben.
That's
Go
that
to-
should be it. Saying.
Go to
Don't
the
be a
hospital.
Ben.
Don't be a Ben. Go to the hospital.
You know,
Get
I'm
t-shirts with that right on it.
I'm an outlier. You know,
How's
people.
that working for you?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm an outlier. People might not have survived what I've endured. If there is any kids listening, which we're hopefully not, because we're rated R, don't take. Actually, I'll
Don't
do.
do heroin.
I'll do.
either.
Yeah,
Don't
I'll
get
do a
AIDS.
public announcement now.
Try not to get AIDS.
We're idiots. Don't listen to anything we say.
Except when we tell you to go to the hospital when you get injured, because you should do that. Well, depending on
Yes.
how injured.
Yeah.
But slicing your wrist open, absolutely.
Just be happy, be safe.
Take care.
Yeah. Are we wrapping up?
Are we wrapping up?
Are we wrapping up now?
Yeah, if you want to.
You know, I can't do the little outro.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Drinkin Thinkin episode 5. Ben has been your gracious host today. Of course, I'm James. You can follow us on Facebook at Drinkin Thinkin, all one word, no commas, I believe. Or the page is actually called Drinkin, Thinkin,
Yeah.
comma.
It'll be in the
But you
description.
can go at, it'll be in the link down below, as well as our Twitter, which is at DT_podcast. Or youtube.com/dangerzone. That's not the actual URL. I just say that because that's how everyone says the URLs.
Yeah.
We're like 50 down on terms of Danger Zone
Again,
ones.
well,
If you're watching this,
yeah, you found that.
you found it. Congratulations. We'll probably get a bump up of
Lucky you.
subscribers with our Trump episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just confuse people there.
Oh fuck yeah.
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 Our Trump episode from last week has probably gotten us quite a few many subscribers now.
Don't
gave the
say
date,
that.
Didn't we
Yeah.
give the date?
Yeah, but don't say it's given us many subscribers. Because if
No, we're probably not going to make one. We're just
Yeah.
going to get shit talked.
that's what I want, man.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Roast me.
Roast me. Let's do it. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.
Talk hard.
Talk hard.